If you're thinking about walking for fitness, you may also be asking the question, should I aim for 10,000 steps a day? The answer is no, absolutely not. Of course, 10,000 steps is the goal that everybody seems to strive for. Get a new step tracker and you're told, walk 10,000 steps. Did you know that the idea of 10,000 steps originated in the mid-60s? It was a Japanese company. They made a pedometer. They called it a 10,000 step meter. The marketing campaign was so effective, 10,000 steps stuck. Plus, it's a big number, and we like big numbers. But science behind 10,000 steps, not so much. Except maybe so much. Because lately, as people have been pursuing 10,000 steps, and researchers have been wondering, well, is this really a good goal? They've been doing some research around the idea of 10,000 steps, and that's starting to come out, and we're learning that walking 10,000 steps does have an impact on lowering the risk for future illness and disease. One study indicates that if you walk 9,800 steps a day consistently, which is just 2 minutes shy of reaching 10,000, you lower your risk of dementia by 50%. You may be wondering, well, what's wrong with 10,000 steps? It sounds like a pretty good goal. Nope, it's not. It's because of the time gap. You see, most of us in our daily lives, on average, get about 4,000 steps a day. So that's walking around the house, at work, car to work, at the grocery store, doing normal day-to-day stuff, about 4,000 steps a day. To walk 10,000 steps requires, on average, about another hour of walking. But here's the thing, when we make the decision to walk 10,000 steps, we're not just given an extra hour every day to make that happen. We have to exchange what we're currently doing for an hour of walking. Whether you do that all at once, or take 2 30-minute walks, or maybe 10 10-minute walks, you have to exchange what you're currently doing, which usually isn't stuff you hate, because you've already traded that stuff out, or you can't. It's stuff that you sort of enjoy doing, like scrolling on your phone, streaming movies or TV shows, sleeping, getting up early to go for a walk. So we have to exchange things that we generally enjoy doing for something that is a challenge. When we get started, our fitness capacity is low. You start walking, you feel it. It's hard, maybe even sore or painful. It's not really fun. And over time, that exchange becomes harder and harder to make. Now, I say over time because most of us, when we set a new goal, we're excited. Maybe you want to lose weight or feel better, or perhaps a doctor told you that you need to start moving more. Maybe the doctor even said you need to walk 10,000 steps a day. And so we're excited about that goal at the beginning. And maybe on that first day, we blow past 10,000 steps. It's like, this is easy. I could do this every day. Except that emotional excitement, for most people, it doesn't last. Maybe a week or two. And then it becomes a grind. And then we start looking for excuses to not reach 10,000 steps. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. I'll do it when the weather warms up. Because all of these speed bumps now become bigger and more important, like weather. The weather isn't enjoyable. Do you want to go outside and walk 10,000 steps? If your day is really, really busy and you don't even have time for the fun stuff, where are you going to find the time for 10,000 steps? Or you just don't feel right. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're a little sore. I don't feel like walking 10,000 steps. You see, 10,000 steps is a terrible starting goal. Because inevitably what happens, we start strong, and then after a week or two, it gets harder and harder. And those things that we had hoped would happen, the weight loss, feeling better, they're not happening. And we get discouraged. And we end up setting it aside and eventually forgetting about it and going back to the 4,000 steps a day. 10,000 steps is a terrible starting goal. It's much better to start small, because the first order of business is actually building a habit, a daily fitness habit. You do that day after day, week after week, month after month, and over time, that habit creates momentum, fitness momentum, and you start to enjoy going out for a walk. It's no longer a have to, it's a get to, it's a want to. And once you reach that level, then you can start thinking about 10,000 steps a day, but not to start, not to start. Hi, I'm Dave. I host a daily 10-minute walking podcast. Every day, there's a new episode. I record each episode while I'm out walking. And the idea is to help you build a daily, consistent habit that becomes fitness momentum. And then you can start thinking about 10,000 steps.